back to your class, children. Very good morning to you all. Today we are going to start one chapter from your supplementary reader. The book is called It So Happened. Your supplementary reader book looks like this. Today we are going to start the first chapter from this textbook, which is called How the Camel Got Its Hump. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to give you an introduction of the chapter, and then I'll read a few parts of the lesson, and then I'll give you some work to do today. Okay? Shall we see how this chapter is and what it is all about? Alright, like I told you, today we are going to look at the first chapter from your supplementary reader. Title of the chapter is How the Camel Got His Hump. I'm quite sure that all of you have seen a camel in your life. Maybe not a live one, but you would have seen the pictures in documentaries or in movies. If some of you have seen in the palace, Mysore Palace, you'll see that there has been a camel which is used for entertaining the tourists and guests. Okay, so what is a special feature of the camel? You would have seen that the camel has something like this on its back, a small mount on its back. This is what is called as the hump. So you would have learnt in your smaller classes that a hump is used for storing some food and water, because it's a desert animal. It's called the, what is it called? You have to find out and understand. Okay, so this hump helps in storing food and water. But how did the camel get it? So this book tells us moral stories in a very beautiful and interesting way. Okay, so this chapter is going to tell us how the camel got his hump. Alright, shall we start looking at it? Before that, I want to tell you something about the writer of this story. The name of this writer is Rudyard Kipling. Okay, have you heard this name? Well, he was born in India. And he is very famous for short stories, and he is also a novelist. He has written many novels. One very famous novel, one very famous book has been made into cartoon, animation, movies in India as well as in Hollywood. No prizes for guessing. If you have guessed it, just pat yourself. It is the now everyone knows what it is. It is the Jungle Book. We all know, right? Mowgli, the character of Mowgli, who is a small boy brought up in the forest. Isn't that an interesting story? So now you can guess how interesting this story is going to be. Okay, those who have this book, sit with the book, read along with me, put your fingers under the sentences when I read. Others, you just hear it out like a story. Shall we start now? Okay. How the camel got his hump. The world had just begun and the animals were working for humans. Animals were working for humans. We usually have maid servants who will be male and female, right? But when the world had just begun, according to the writer, animals were working for humans. Even now animals work. There was one lazy animal that did nothing and said nothing but humph. Even the clever jinn was at his wit's end. Okay, what is wit's end? We'll see later on. Okay, let's go to the chapter. In the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel. And he lived in the middle of a howling desert because he did not want to work. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles. And when anybody spoke to him, he said, humph, just hump, and no more. So, when the world had just begun, this is an imagination, children. It's not a real story. This is not a real thing which has happened. It's just the imaginary work of this writer to give us a beautiful story. So, when the world had just begun and the animals were learning how to work for humans. Okay, when the animals are working for humans, what would have happened? When a set of people are working in a place, they'll be talking to each other about how their work is, how their employer or the master is. Similarly, these animals are also going to speak about their work and their Like I said, they are going to have some gossip among themselves. So what happened? There was a camel who was also working for his master, and he would not speak anything. So like I told you, you'll believe, right? The animals were speaking. But this camel will say only one word, which is hum. So the only word said by the camel was hum. Okay, so whatever somebody will ask the camel, or whatever the camel had to say, the only word, maybe it was a favorite for the camel, the only word said by the camel was hum. Presently, the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, "Camel, oh camel, come out and trot like us, trot like the rest of us." So the horse comes to the camel and calls the camel. The horse had a saddle on its back. Do you all know what a saddle is? Saddle is that leather seat kind of thing which is put on the horse's back so that people can sit on it and ride the horse. So the horse had a saddle in its back, and it came to the camel and called the camel to come outside and trot like how the horse did. You have seen now how the horse will jump in one particular place, standing in a place. So expect the camel also to do that. Yes, so trot is a new word. The camel is told by the horse, "Come out with us and trot like how we do." What did the camel say? "Humph, humph," said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. Presently, the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us." So what you notice here, when the horse told the camel to come outside, what did the horse ask the camel to do? The horse said, "Come and trot like us." So the trotting is done by the camel. When the dog came to the camel, what did the dog have in its mouth? It had a stick. So the dog tells the camel, "Come out and play fetch like how we all do." So according to the horse and dog, they feel whatever work is done by the horse or the dog, others are also doing the same work. So they expected that the camel should also come and do a similar work like what the horse and dog are doing. So what was dog's work? When you throw something, it will run towards it, fetch it and come back. What is fetch? Just to take. Okay. So fetch is usually associated with dog's play. So when you throw a ball or a stick or a ring, all the dog does is run towards it, fetch it and then come back to the master. So the dog and horse have invited the camel to come out and do the work like what the horse and dog are doing. Presently, the ox came to him. After the horse and dog, what comes? Ox. So the ox is going to say something to the camel now. Presently, the ox came to him with the yoke on his neck and said, "Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us." You have seen an ox, right? Just like how the camel has a hump, the ox also has a small mount on its back. You all would have seen, right? Even here, locally you may notice that some people bring the ox beautifully decorated. It will also have a small mount on its top. That's what he has told here. The ox comes to the camel and says, how does the ox come? It comes with a yoke on his neck. Oh, yoke on his neck. So you will see that the ox has a yoke which is hanging down on its neck, from the neck. So he comes with that and say, "Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us." So what is the work of an ox? To plow the fields. In agricultural fields, an ox is used for plowing the fields. So the horse, the dog and the ox have invited the camel to come out and do the work that they were doing. What was the work done by them? Trotting by the horse, fetching by the dog and plowing by the ox. Okay. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, "303, I am very sorry for you, but that humph thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now. So, I'm going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it. The man has understood that the camel is very lazy. He has understood that the camel is not going to do any work. And what is he going to do now? Distribute the work of camel to this horse, dog and ox. That made the three very angry, and they held a panchayat on the edge of the desert. And the camel came chewing cud and laughed at them. Then he said, "Humph," and went away again. Presently, there came along the jinn who was in charge of all deserts, rolling in a cloud of dust. So, when the dog, ox and the horse were assigned the extra work of the camel, they were very angry. And what did they do? They wanted to call a panchayat. Panchayat means a group of people where authorities will be there. You have learned about it in social. I am quite sure 6th, 7th, 8th standard, maybe in 6th and 7th you have learned what a panchayat is. Panchayat is a small board of people where sarpanch will be there, 5 members will be there who will be like the main members of the panchayat, and any issues, cases will be solved by those people. So when they decided to hold this panchayat, what comes there? A jinn. You all know a jinn, magic genie, which just pops out with a cloud, and this genie was responsible of all the deserts. "Jinn of all deserts," said the horse, "is it right for anyone to be idle?" "Certainly not," said the jinn. "Well," said the horse, "there is a thing in the middle of your desert with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He won't trot." So the horse's complaint was, when the jinn comes and asks, when the jinn comes, the horse recognizes the jinn and says, "Oh jinn of all deserts, do you think is it okay for someone to not work?" Then these complaints saying that the horse starts with the complaint that the camel is always idle, it doesn't even trot. "Whew," said the jinn, whistling. "That's my camel. What does he say about it?" "He says, 'Humph,' and won't plow," said the ox. So the ox's complaint was it doesn't plow like how the ox does. "Very good," said the jinn. "I'll humph him if you will kindly wait a minute." So the jinn said, "I'll humph him if you may wait a minute." So you can guess that the jinn has magical powers and what it would have done. Let us wait to find out what the jinn would have done, and then in the next class we are going to see the rest of the chapter, which is going to make us all laugh. Alright, so till now I've read the first unit and given you a basic idea about what has happened. This is very simple language, children. Without me explaining, you should be able to read and understand. Remember in the first video that I had sent, I told you about the book, and I said that this book is for you to read, understand and explain in the class. But as we are not coming to school together, I thought I'll start with this so that it will keep you entertained. So promise me that you are going to read this chapter and have a lot of fun. Thank you so much, children.